Good day, friends, it's Lee. Well, for this video here I wanted to try and explain in a very simple and basic way the way in which time travel is in existence and is applicable. Now, first of all, just to say this for fun, what's interesting is that even though I am saying and making this video for me what is currently at 2:45 p.m. on such and such a day of the week, while this is in the now for me, yet it was preconceived in my mind to do so. And as you are playing this video on your computer, it is such and such a time after the actual making of the video. So even within that, we are in a unique way of doing a traveling in time, if you want to put that term to it. So what I wanted to say was, I'll try and make this simple because even for me it's sort of hard to put it in words without getting a little bit well, let me rephrase this. I want to keep this as simple as possible because multiplication of words or using an over or unnecessary amount of mathematics doesn't teach or prove anything, only that the person doing so is trying to impress themselves. What I am doing here is not trying to impress myself, but trying to share with others this very simple way in which you can understand how time travel works. And it doesn't necessarily apply in the way that a lot of people might think it does. So anyway, without further ado, for this video, I have drawn on this computer here with a simple Microsoft Paint program the essence of how it works. Now, you have to look at the universe as not being based on a singular Big Bang, but rather many Big Bangs, and let's just say a multitude of little bangs. When the supreme being that we call God expresses his, her, itself, the source expressing self, many various modes of creation pop up at the same time. So here is the beginning of one little bang, here is another little bang, and all throughout space many of these are constantly coming and going. Let's relate it to our own tiny little planet, our own little selves on this one little planet. Now, let's just say the center of our own little corner of the universe in a galactic sort of way, in a galaxy, starts here. So bear with me, zoom in just for a second. Here, we're just going to say this for simplicity's sake, okay guys? Here, let's say for instance right here is planet Earth, right here. Now yes, there seems to be more planets closer to the sun as we've been typically taught, but I'm just doing this for for simple purposes, okay? So let's just say that this planet, this white star, this planet, represents planet Earth, and it is going around in an orbit and has a certain time in which it makes this orbit. Further away from this particular little bang are other planets who use a different time to go around that same center of little bang. Furthermore, another series or level of being of which these planets exist, so on and so forth, as you can plainly see. Most of you guys know this in school very easily. You were taught, you know, the Earth is the third rock from the sun, so to speak, but I'm doing this in a little bit of a different way. So what we have here is, it takes such and such a time for this Earth to orbit around the center of this particular area in the universe. And as we said, longer and longer and longer. So when people are experiencing time travel due to the fact that they were taken by those who are extra terra, let's see, this Earth is called Gaia or Terra, those who are on another rotation plane of existence have a different spirituality and a higher awareness, a higher spirituality and a higher awareness as going out from this center source, because now all these center sources belong to the one source, supreme being of God, but each one in particular conjunction. So this one might have started at one time, this one expanded at a different time, but all from the same supreme being, the invisible force that we can't really give a name to or accurately describe. Who has done it so far? Nobody. It's too amazing. Wow. As a being from a higher plane of existence comes to visit a being down here, they are indeed from the future, because even as we are here experiencing this Earth type of cycle, we are now in 2012 and beyond, going to the next phase in which we are going to be expanded to the next cyclic life existence, and there will be another one behind us coming out. So it's constantly like the ripple effect for such and such a time. So we're going to be moving from here to the next one and have that much more spiritual knowledge as well as scientific knowledge. Now, we are not left alone. We are being helped by the Supreme Being, and namely our own ancestors from the stars, from quote-unquote the future, are coming back from these places and are helping us to get to the next place, even as, just as interestingly, we are going to be going eventually and teaching the ones coming quote-unquote behind us and telling them what's in the future. So let's just say that this is what's happening, and it certainly is. Let's say a being from, I don't know, green dimension or blue, just for simplicity's sake, comes and takes somebody from here. They are traveling back in time. They have already gone through these cycles. They are going back through time through their own progression, coming to take us and taking us, as it were, to the future, to where we are eventually going to be. Now, as it takes such and such an amount of time for this to happen, it takes longer, right, for these cycles to go. So when someone says, I was away for 6 weeks or 2 months or 9 years on, and yes, I could have drawn more circles going out because it can go on for quite a ways. I just didn't fit it in. But whatever time it takes to pass here is only a very short time here, right? So if 5 or 15 minutes or half an hour or a few hours passed in this level of dimension, it could be a lot longer on one of these outer dimensions by necessity and by default, because the world does work in cycles and in circles. One would even argue in spirals, but I'm not going to do that folding of space just at this moment. So if it took 15 minutes for this planet to move from there to here, then it took that much more time for this one to do the same. So if someone experienced a long period of time here, and then when they go back to their body after the Space Brothers drop them back off, then obviously it seemed like a very short period of time in comparison. Now, when, and again, these are just simple, crude terms to explain it for simplicity purposes. When these rings, these dimensions overlap each other, then you have folding of space, and then you go through a vortex. So let's just say, oh, I don't know, here there's another ring, and there's another ring, and then these two eventually cross over into each other. So then what you're doing is you're going in a vortex or through the black hole into another place, and then if you're coming from here and going back again to the center, you're doing that folding of space and doing time travel that way, either way. So it is very much going to not one single Big Bang, and not one, there is no such thing as one single center of the universe. It doesn't exist. But there are very many centers of little bangs existing within, oh, there goes my text message, sorry, within the Supreme Being, within the Is. And the Isness, the universe itself, is the Is. So this is exactly how time travel works. If you are here and you are going and have the capability to actually travel this way, since you're going to the new dimension, you are traveling into the future, because it's your own future that you're going to have. And if you're going back, you're going back to the back to the past, in which you've already been. It doesn't mean that you're going to visit yourself from here to here, but similar beings who have gone through the various stages of awareness and dimensional existence, densities, give whatever name you want. Since those here have been through this whole thing, they come back to help to get us to where they are. So this is how it works. One of these days, you and I, and anyone, and maybe some of us already have, are the ones coming back to help out the lower levels to get to the higher. So I just wanted to keep it very simple. That's just a very basic introduction. And that is why if someone has been abducted by extraterrestrials or extra Gaians, however you want to put it, and you spent a long time here and it took only a short time here, that's exactly what happened. So, hope you enjoyed that for now. Check out my other videos as you feel inclined. Have yourself a lovely moment. Namaste and love be with you. Take care. Bye-bye.